Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled between whispering forests and shimmering rivers, lived a princess named Luna. But she wasn't like other princesses. While her sisters adored sparkling jewels and grand balls, Luna's heart belonged to the moon. Every evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple, Luna would rush to her balcony. She would wait, her breath held in anticipation, for the first glimpse of the silver orb climbing into the night sky. To her, the moon wasn't just a distant light. It was a friend, a silent confidant. She would tell her secrets, whispering her dreams into the cool night air. She imagined the moon had a face, a gentle, knowing smile just for her. She would trace its craters with her finger from afar, naming each one, creating stories about the silver dust that covered its surface. The moonbeams that streamed into her room were like gentle fingers, caressing her face as she slept. The kingdom was a beautiful place. By day, the marketplace buzzed with life, filled with the scent of fresh bread and the chatter of merchants. The royal gardens were a riot of color, with roses and lily competing for the sun's affection. But for Luna, all this daytime beauty was just a prelude to the night. The kingdom truly came alive for her when the stars began to pepper the velvet sky, and her beloved moon took its throne. As Luna grew, so did her love for the moon. She learned everything she could about it. She read ancient scrolls in the royal library, learning about its phases, its pull on the tides, and the myths people had woven about it for centuries. The royal astronomer, a kind old man with a long white beard, would let her look through his giant brass telescope. Peering through the lens, the moon felt so close, she could almost reach out and touch its rugged, magnificent surface. One year, a strange phenomenon occurred. A creeping shadow began to slowly consume the moon each night. The sliver of light grew thinner and thinner, and a deep sadness fell over Princess Luna. The kingdom's wise men called it the creeping gloom, and they had no explanation. They worried as the moon's light faded. The crops in the fields began to wither, and a strange melancholy settled over the people. Luna felt the moon's sorrow as if it were her own. She couldn't bear to see her friend disappearing. Determined to help, she decided she must find a way to bring back its light. She packed a small bag with a loaf of bread, a flask of water, and her favorite star chart. Dressed in a simple traveler's cloak, she slipped out of the castle under the cover of the thinnest crescent moon. Her journey had begun. Her first destination was the Whispering Woods, a place of ancient trees and magical creatures. The people in the village warned her against it, telling tales of getting lost in its shifting paths. But Luna's star chart, a gift from the astronomer, seemed to glow with a faint light, guiding her feet. Deep within the woods, she met a family of fireflies. Their leader, a bright spark named Glimmer, noticed the sadness in her eyes. "Why do you look so lost, little princess?" Glimmer buzzed softly. Luna explained her quest to save the moon. The fireflies, who danced by the moon's light every night, understood her plight. In a gesture of solidarity, they combined their light, forming a single, brilliant orb that illuminated her path through the darkest parts of the forest, keeping the shadows at bay. After leaving the woods, her journey led her to the Crystal Mountains, a towering range of peaks that scraped the sky. The climb was steep and treacherous. The air grew thin and cold. It was there she met a wise old eagle, with feathers the color of storm clouds and eyes as sharp as glass. He had watched the sky for 100 years and had seen the creeping gloom before. "The moon has lost its heart," the eagle screeched, his voice echoing through the canyons. "Long ago, a star fell from the heavens and became the moon's heart, the source of its light. It has been stolen by the Shadow King, who dwells in the Valley of Forgotten Dreams, jealous of the moon's brilliance. He told her the only way to restore the moon was to retrieve the heart." The eagle then offered to carry her across the most dangerous peaks, his powerful wings saving her days of perilous climbing. Finally, Luna and the eagle arrived at the edge of the Valley of Forgotten Dreams. It was a place of perpetual twilight where lost hopes and faded memories drifted like mist. The air was heavy with silence. At the center of the valley stood a dark, jagged castle made of obsidian. This was the Shadow King's domain. The eagle could go no further. As the shadows drained his strength, Luna had to continue alone. With a deep breath, she stepped into the valley. The shadows swirled around her, whispering doubts and fears. They showed her visions of her failing, of the moon disappearing forever. But Luna clutched the star chart, remembering the firefly's light and the eagle's wisdom. She thought of her friend, the moon, and her resolve hardened. She would not let fear stop her. Inside the castle, she found the Shadow King on a throne of darkness. He was not a monster, but a hunched figure made of swirling smoke and regret. And in his hand, he held a pulsating, diamond-like gem, the moon's heart. It cast a weak, struggling light. "Why have you done this?" Luna asked, her voice clear and steady. The Shadow King recoiled. He explained that he was once a prince who dreamed of flying to the moon, but was ridiculed for his impossible dream. His bitterness grew until he became a creature of shadow, and he stole the moon's light so no one else could enjoy what he could not reach. Instead of anger, Luna felt a pang of pity. "Being loved is not the same as being owned," she said gently. "The moon shines for everyone, even those lost in the darkest valleys. It offers hope. It doesn't belong to you or to me. It belongs to the night and to every dreamer who looks up at the sky." Her words, filled with genuine compassion, struck a chord in the Shadow King. He looked at the heart in his hand, then at the earnest princess before him. The swirling shadows around him began to calm. With a long, shuddering sigh, he held out the gem. "Perhaps you are right," he whispered, his voice losing its raspy edge. As Luna took the moon's heart, it flared with brilliant, pure white light, pushing back all the shadows in the castle. The king himself seemed less like a monster and more like a sad, lonely man. Luna smiled at him. "Come out of the valley sometime," she said. "The moonlight is beautiful." With the heart safe, the eagle returned to carry her back to her kingdom. As she soared through the sky, she held the gem up high. A beam of light shot from it, striking the darkened moon. The creeping gloom shattered like glass, and the full, glorious light of the moon burst forth, brighter than ever before. A collective cheer rose from the world below. When Luna returned, she was no longer just the princess who loved the moon. She was the hero who had saved it. But she never forgot her journey, or the lessons she learned. She still spent her nights on her balcony, but now her conversation with the moon was different. It was a chat between old friends who had been through an adventure together. And sometimes, on the clearest nights, she thought she could see a faint glimmer in the Valley of Forgotten Dreams, as if someone else had finally decided to step out and enjoy the light.